Hello everyone, in the previous video what we did is we created a simple program that just prints hello world to the console. In this video what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain this code in detail. Sure. Okay, so include iOS stream, what this does. Firstly, this has an hash sign, and include iOS stream, what this does or allows us to do is it imports a file called iOS stream. It's a header file, by the way. This file is a header file. Alright, it's like a predefined file that you're including in this program. And why is that important? Well, because iOS stream has some functions and variables that we can use. Alright, so for example, the cout function. This function, how does our compiler know what cout means? Well, the reason it knows that is because we included the iOS stream library. So the cout function is actually coming from this library called iOS stream, or this header file. Sorry, not library. This header file called iOS stream. It's included in the iOS stream library, and once we imported it in here, then it allows us to cout. All right. Now, if I were to remove this and save it and run this program, then you would see that it's telling us error, cout was not declared in this scope, meaning it doesn't know what cout is. Okay, it's saying what is this? I don't recognize it. But if we were to include iOS stream, then you will see that cout is actually recognized because it's a function within the iOS stream library that has been imported into this current program that we're working in. Alright, now the next thing is using namespace std. What this does, okay, is that in simple terms, actually there's a detailed explanation, but I'm not going to go into detail. Okay, basically, if you didn't have using namespace std, then the cout functions and the cin functions, which we're going to explain in a moment. Alright, cout and cin, you would have to actually include std like that. Okay, and of course you don't want your life to be a bit easier, so just go ahead and import, write this out instead of going ahead and whenever you see out every time cout and then you cout again. You don't want to go ahead and make your life complicated in std like that all the time. Alright, it's a bit like, it's really not, it gets a bit complicated. Sometimes you will forget, and then you have when you have thousands of lines of code, so to actually go and debug them, it's really a pain. So import, using namespace std, use that. So if I could just give you an example by commenting this out. Okay, by the way, this is a comment now, meaning it's not gonna be it's not gonna be read by the compiler. Alright, so the compiler ignores it. So if I say F11 meaning compile and run, then you can see cout is not really declared in this scope, so it doesn't know what cout is. So we can just go ahead and say std and double colon, and we can say cout, run program, and it works. So that's the thing. Using namespace std makes it easier. That's simply put. Then we have int main. Now the int main is a function. Main is a function. Whatever code you're going to write in your program is going to be in the main. Alright, whatever logic, whatever anything basically as a beginner you're going to do, you're going to put it inside the main function, and that is really important. Okay, so if I were to put in cout name is computing portal alright, and I put a semicolon, don't forget the semicolon at the end because it's C++. Alright, then you can see that it actually it prints this. Alright, and this should have actually been, if you want to create this on a new line, then it's a bit you're gonna use endl. So I'm gonna come in like that, and I'm gonna say endl, meaning end the line. So it's gonna print it on a new line. So you can see once it prints it, it's my name is computing portal and hello world is on a new line. So now we have include iOS stream using namespace. Oh yeah, so the main function basically. Whatever logic you're gonna write it in the main function. Assume we wrote this actually outside the main function. run it, you'll see that error cout does not name a type. Okay, so that's going to be the thing. It gives us an error. So main function is a function that C++, the compiler of C++, looks for, and whatever code is inside of it is the main code. Okay, we do sometimes write code outside of the main, but that's code that is like more of a blueprint. It's not really code that is being executed. Whatever you need executed will be inside main. Right, so that's pretty much what int main is. Now why is it int main? Well, int stands for integer. The reason we put int here is because we are returning an integer. 1 is an integer. Okay, return 1. There's other data types as well, by the way. You can say void meaning return none, so you're not gonna return anything. If you were to, however, return 1, which is an integer, and it's void, then it's gonna show you main must return int. So it's telling you shouldn't be void, it should be int. Alright, and just like that you can make this string main. These are just data types. You can make it bool main, you can make it car main, you can make it a whole lot of stuff. This is different data types, but the default is int main. Alright, you'll commonly see int main and even void main being used. Void mean return none. So if I say none and I use int, then I run it in this compiler, I think it would run. Yeah, it does run here, but in some other compilers it wouldn't run. Alright, so that's just why we use int main. Alright, and by the way, because in C++ the thing is that in C++, unlike Python, unlike I think even JavaScript, I'm not sure, right, you don't in other languages like high level languages, you don't really need to declare the data type of the function. Like this is an integer function, so you wouldn't, in Python you wouldn't really need to do that. So you would just go in main and just write the block of code. But in C++ you would actually need to write the data type. So that's just something about C++. Okay, and you can, by the way, return any integer. So it shows you with return value 1000. Alright, and then we have that, and now we have, that's just the main function. Okay, the main function starts there, it ends there. Now we have the cout. Cout means what you want to output. Alright, some people also, you can, by the way, use printf as well. It's a function, but then you would use we're using cout. Alright, not printf. Now cout does my name is computing portal. Alright, and this is an operator, by the way. These two angle brackets are operators. This operator, by the way, sorry, I think is called an I think it's an extraction operator. It's called an extraction. So extraction operator, and then you have this one which is called an insertion operator. Let me just double check. Just give me a moment. I want to just double check if it is in fact a insertion operator or insertion operator in C++. Yeah, no, it's actually the other way around. This in fact is the extraction operator. Sorry, this is the insertion operator. So yeah, this is insertion, so you're inserting something onto the console. This is extracting, so you're extracting from the console. Alright, if you want to extract from the console, you would use the first one. If you want to insert something into the console, you're going to use this one. So that's what that is. So cout tells us that I want to insert this text into the console. Okay, and that's it. And endl just says that after I've done inserting, then just insert a line break, so it breaks on to the next line. Alright, that's what it is essentially. Then we have cout hello world and return 100. Sure. Now we have int. If we had void, then we wouldn't have return. That's what return does. So that's just basically the explanation of the basic code that we have, and I hope you understand.